Hello, and welcome to the Sunday Night Stock Talk. I'm your host, Johnny, with the Investing for Beginners community. Today, we're going to do a Sunday Night Stock Talk, share with you guys some companies that I find value in moving into the week April, Monday 8th through April 12th, which is Friday. So we do have some meetings this week with some of the Fed, some data release that will help with the stock market. And if you haven't noticed, I am back home in my normal trading station. Glad to be here. So let's go over some companies. April Fool's Day, which was last Monday, the last week's Sunday Stock Talk, we did call out a couple of companies that we saw value in, and that was on the 31st. Sunday Stock Talk for the 31st. Hayes has done really well since the Stock Talk, up 30% in a week, and has came down about 10%, hitting that SMA line, which can show new signs of support and can continue a rise up to previous highs of about an 8% profit on Pays. Pays is showing new signs of resistance at that 4 level or 70 level, which can be great for some investors that are out there. Hopefully it's showing signs of some support now, right around this area. Palantir, same thing, we called out last week, right around here. And it has basically done nothing. It did create a new low, which is around this mark, and some new higher lows or support levels, and has created some resistance here at the $23 level. If you would have bought in at that low at about 21.80 and rode it to its high from Thursday of last week, that was a 10% move in 2 days. Symbiotic Inc. did not do what we expected it to do here. It actually went lower than expected, seeing how it went from where we called it out on Sunday to where it is now at about a 2% difference. Now there was some highs and lows that were here, some new lows at 41.60, and some resistance levels at this 46 mark. So creating lower highs and lower lows. Give me 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot to get on my phone to see if anyone's on and commenting or not. Let me do that now. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. Appreciate you stopping by, spending a part of the day with us. I do just want to say that we did miss a few days. We missed a Friday morning trading session. After some weeks of traveling, it finally caught up to me, staying in hotel rooms 5 nights a week, traveling, and very long meetings. I'm now home. I'm gonna be home for a while now, and don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So we should be back to normal trading sessions. I did not trade on Friday, unfortunately. Well, I traded on Friday, but I didn't record it. And I usually do a lot more videos. I do 2 videos every day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So we got some catching up to do. I did trade Coney. Coney is a company that I did trade. We bought 10 shares, so we should be getting paid a nice dividend from Coney on tomorrow. Actually, we will be getting paid tomorrow almost $30 on Coney. I know this is a very risky play, and for some reason it's even saying that I bought at $28.95. This has no indication that it ever even was at $28.95. So I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Some kind of a technical error or glitch. But it's saying that the highest it ever has been is $27.16. Obviously not if I bought it 10 shares at $28.95. So that's very odd to me. If anybody else is experiencing this with Coney, let me know exactly what happened here, because I'm not sure. 10 shares at $28.95. Now they have paid dividends. Let's bring that up. So Coney's fairly new. They have 135% dividend yield right now, which is insane. And they've only been around for a few months. As you can see here, on November, they paid $1 per share. December, they paid $2.50 a share. February, they paid $1 a share. March, they paid $1.66 a share. And this will be the highest amount that they've ever paid anybody per share at $2.79 on 4/4. That was the ex-dividend date. You would have had to have owned this company on or before that day to be recorded as a shareholder to take part in this dividend capture. The ex-dividend date was on 4/4, so you actually get paid on the 8th, which is tomorrow. On Monday, we'll see what happens and if we get paid out. I got into this company a little less than $300 to showcase a dividend capture to you guys. And usually when that happens, the share price will go down as much as it pays out in dividends. For me, it's a heck of a lot more because for some reason I'm up here at the $28.95 mark when it was barely at the $27.16 mark. So some kind of a glitch or error. Not sure what happened with that. So with that said, it has been showing signs of upward momentum continuously while paying out those dividend yields. So that's pretty cool. We're going to see what happens. It is showing signs of a downward trend. Obviously, it can go back down to like a $15 level. So I'm excited to see what it does. Tomorrow, as soon as the market opens, maybe even pre-market, I will sell if it's starting to show signs that it's going down, or hold and see what happens as the price goes up. Now we do live stream every day, Monday through Friday. So definitely tune in if you haven't already, where we go over different stocks that we're looking at for the week and try to make money doing so. ANBS doesn't look like it's done much. It's created some new higher lows and some new higher highs, but ultimately it really hasn't moved from this spot. TPST is a company that some of our subscribers called out. As you can see here, it had a huge pump and a massive dump. So that is not a company we want to keep tracking on here. Pays, on the other hand, is doing well. Like I said, we called this out on Sunday after seeing a ton of tremendous upward momentum. It had a huge break up to the top where the resistance level is, and now coming back down to this support area. It is way above the yellow line, which is the MA, and it's also above the SMA, or I'm sorry, the EMA. So it could bounce off that EMA, or it can go all the way back down to previous supports. Again, this was a resistance, old resistance, create new supports. Carvana showing signs that it is in that support area of previous support for a potential profit here if it goes up to previous highs of about 13%. Doesn't mean it has to, obviously, but it probably, or it, not probably, or like it could potentially. SQQ showing signs that it did go up right here. Missed a fantastic play on 4-4. I seen this play happening and I did nothing. Due to traveling on the road, being burnt out, tired, and a lot of other bull crap going on, I was not focused entirely on my trade setup for last week. Missed out on an 8% play in a single day shorting the market. With that said, it's gone back to some recent pullbacks for QQQ, which means tqqq also had that pullback here, as you can see. So anybody who invested here is actually down a majority of their money. It did pass this SMA line and EMA line, showing that support level again about that 5708, 5750. It likes that area of support and has done nothing but start trailing upward. Now it can get to recent support levels, or I'm sorry, resistance levels of about $63. As you can see, we've already missed a majority of that play on the 5th, which was Friday. It went up massively, 5%. To put that in perspective, 5% on $1,000 investment is about $50. If you had $2,000, that would be $100. Neo's not doing much either, staying right there at that 430 mark, and that resistance is heavy right here at that 450 mark. Ocgn is doing great, in my opinion. Got up to $2.10 with a massive rejection to the downside. Now it's showing some support at that 136 with new support levels at about 150. It had a massive move upward, which we did play on, and this says 18% in a single day. We actually made 10% on this 18% run. We wanted to make sure that there was confirmation it was going up. We missed out on about 10% before we actually got in, and then we traded again. I don't know why I keep saying we. It's literally just me. And it won't show you on this because it's stupid. I got really used to my computer, my laptop that I've been trading on. It shows you all my trades, and on here it does not. So 22% gain in a single day. We were able to lock in 10% and made a few bucks. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. What do I think is going to happen with this company now? Well, a couple of things can happen. It got bought out. It got a $1 billion injection from some Saudi Arabians. It also has some good clinical trials that are happening, which is why that share price went up so much. It's already up 24%, with another potential to go up 10% before it reaches those previous resistance levels. So we'll see what happens when the market opens tomorrow. It may sell back off, which I've seen happen, and so be aware of that moving into tomorrow. Sound is one of those companies that has major potential, but nothing's actually really happening for some reason. It's kind of delayed, which is fine. There's no reason or clear indication that this company will be going up anytime soon. And I also forgot to share my links. So I'm actually doing that now for all my Facebook members out there. We have over 70,000 members in our private group. And yet, it doesn't seem like a lot of them actually invest. Just throwing that out there. It's pretty amazing. You could have 70,000 members in a Facebook group, and only 1 or 2 will actually watch this live stream. Also, we have 5,000, or I'm sorry, 5,000, I wish. We have, I don't even know what we have. We have, I'll check right now. Yeah, we have 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, about 5,100 subscribers on YouTube, almost 5,200 subscribers, and yet not any of you really watch the live stream, which is pretty amazing to me. Must be a lot of, I don't know, a lot of people that found value in this at one point in time, or maybe they're fake accounts. I have no idea. But it's pretty baffling that there's 5,000 subscribers and only 1 or 2 are actually watching the live streams. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys have an answer for me there. Hood doesn't seem to be doing so great either. So we're just going to watch this. It is pulling back, so there is an opportunity to buy potentially if we start seeing signs of reversal. As you can see on the MACD, it's extremely oversold. RSI, it's getting into that 30 level. And if it is able to bounce, say, off of this support, there is a 25% potential profit if it does do anything. Mara, we've been tracking Mara for a little while. We did trade it up in these areas previously, made some money, and right now it's just not wanting to do much of anything. It keeps kind of teasing us, basically saying, hey, here's a little bit, and then takes it all away, finding some resistance here at that 17 at that $18 level now, where it was previously, with heavy support, just a few pennies above it at 19.20. Another big resistance would be the actual EMA or the actual SMA. Again, remember from watching our other past videos that when the stock is above, the SMA acts as a support, and when it is below, trading below, then the SMA acts as a resistance. And you can clearly see that here. It was below, it hit this and bounced back down, broke free, created a bullish, bounced off of this as a support for bullish, and now it's going back down, showing signs that this is now resistance. In order to see a breakout, we're going to want to see that it confirms a breakout moving forward up past this for a potential profit of another 40% if it makes those previous highs. Palantir, not doing much. Again, we stated this before. Slightly going down, even though it's indicating signs of upward direction in a small frame. It is not showing really any new higher highs of any kind moving forward. Huge pullback. FMC, you may not have heard of. It's actually tracking along with this exact line that we drew. I think last Sunday we drew this line in the stock talk. Can't really remember. but it is starting to hit that SMA line. It can come all the way down to $49. And in doing so, then you have the potential to make about a 30% profit if the timing is right. Now, it did have some previous support around this $54 level, and it could also bounce off of this SMA line. Reddit. Reddit is a new company. It's been trading for a little while. We were able to make some money off of this, actually able to make closer to 40% in a single day before it crashed down. Now, we did lock in those profits, but I'm sure there's many of you who have not locked in those profits and potentially are bag holding right now. Now, we did see this bounce right here, and then it got rejected literally as it basically broke that EMA. Now you're wondering, where is that yellow SMA line? Well, it's a 200-day average, and so we won't see this for 200 days. Right now there's a 45-day average, which doesn't make any sense to me considering it hasn't been 45 days. It's been 15 days. So maybe we'll get a SMA line within that first 50 to 100 day mark, and we'll start seeing that. Now, potential, if they were to get some hype, you can see some previous highs of about 9% at that $51 level, 18% at $55 level, 28% at that $60 level, and potentially 60% profit if it spiked back up to that previous resistance level, which I doubt it will. This is one of those companies that IPO'd, super hyped, and you can tell that it was hyped because it went up as high as 70% in a single day, or that's overnight basically. It went up 55% in a single day, which we were able to make some money on that as well, just knowing that it had this previous spike here. Now, for people who bought here thinking that they were going to be okay, are now holding, or now have lost over 37% of their portfolio. So if you had $1,000, you would be down almost $400 on $1,000. So I do feel bad for some of those bag holders. That is one reason why we don't like to invest anymore. It's hard enough to predict what the stock's going to do in a day, as much as it's hard to predict a stock and what it's going to do in a year. Okay, these people who are riding this wave up, thinking this can go to 100 or 1,000 or whatever crazy claims Reddit was making, it went up and then it crashed. It crashed down. That's one reason why I don't like to hold onto companies, especially like this. Now, a company that you could technically hold on to would be companies like the tqqqs, because again, they go over the market as a whole. This is a 1-for-1 of the NASDAQ. And as you can see, it just tracks the NASDAQ 1-for-1, which means it does have a nice upward momentum all the way back since this is tracking 2019. So of course, you could have held this company from 2019, and it's not going to show me this stupid chart. You'd be up 187%, so almost 200% in 7 years, 6 years. So that's pretty good, I guess, when the average is about 10% a year. But nonetheless, when this huge dip happened back in December, or let's just say January of 2023, where you could have held for basically a year and a little bit in change, 450 days, and been up 75%. So, you know, that might be a good play long term. Oh my gosh, I don't know why this has to be so complicated. I'm so used to my computer at this point. Let's go back to trade. I'm so used to the laptop at this point that everything just seems so complicated now that I'm trying to actually use my desktop. Anyways, doesn't matter. Nonetheless, I'm sure you guys can tell I'm tired, frustrated, irritated, just ready for the day to end so we can get into another trading week. Apple not looking great considering that it is Apple. This is $1 trillion company, and yet it just seems to be going down drastically. Let's go to the day. Now, Apple's an interesting company. And if this chart would just work for me, geez. It has had some good days here, as you can see. Going from lows of 125 back in December 29th, 2022 to July of 23, about 200 days. That's about 57% profit. Ever since it hit highs of 199, it's bounced back down to 169, went back up to 199, and now it's back down to those levels again of 167. It doesn't seem to want to get out of this area, which unfortunately isn't good for anybody, especially if they bought up in those $200 area, which I did not. I kind of stay away from mainstream companies like this for some reason. But basically, you would have been up. Look at this. This is such a glitch. It's saying plus 9%, plus 10, plus 11, and then it says minus. Maybe it doesn't. Let's try that again. I don't want to erase this trend line though. We're just going to go from here. Oh yeah, okay. So of about a 16% profit on that, if and when it does decide to go up. ARM looks like it wanted to bounce off that SMA like previously. Now again, or what is this white line? What the heck? I swear the line was yellow and now it's white. Jeez Louise, I must be super tired. As you can see, it bounced off of that $71 level and went all the way up to that $164 level for 124% profit in a week, in 6 days. In 6 days, guys, it went up that much. That was a huge play that we also did not make. $1,000 invested into that at 124%. You'd be up $1,200 on 1,000. You'd be walking away with $2,200. Now, what does that say moving forward? Well, ARM has some work to do to get back up to those previous levels, which it probably won't because there's no hype, there's no trade, there's no trend, there's really no news on ARM. And if it can get up to those previous resistance levels, that could be about a 16% profit. That's pretty much it, guys, for the night. We're going to be trading tomorrow, and I'm not even sure what time anymore. 7 o'clock just seems to be too early, and there's not a lot going on pre-market. Maybe I'll come on a few minutes before 8, or a few minutes before 7:30, before the market actually opens, and then you guys can watch me trade live as the market is open, instead of sitting around watching and waiting for me to do anything. Now, I can trade pre-market in the US. That is something I can do. Being that I do live in the US, I have a WeBull trading account, so I can trade pre-market and after market hours. But again, I don't even tend to like to make trades for that first 30 minutes. If I do, they're really quick in and out trades. And pre-market, unless I see something like super oversold, then I may not even may not even touch it. So it's just a lot of waiting around in the morning. It's also extremely early. So look out for this. Look out for the live day trading sessions, roughly about 7:30, maybe even 8 o'clock, just depending on how I feel, I guess, for the day. Have a lot going on, so I'm back home now, and I don't know. It's hard to know what the future holds. All I know is we're going to try to make some money tomorrow, and I hope you guys find value in these videos. We have over 5,000 subscribers, and yet we don't have very many viewers or watchers. So that's something that I'm going to be diving into and trying to figure out why, what, and how this happened. You would think a 5,000 subscriber milestone would be pretty incredible, considering how long it took me to get to this milestone, and yet I'm seeing no real value in even having 5,000 subscribers. I do appreciate the ones who are watching, the 5 or 6 of you that join these live streams. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Real quick before we go, I'll show you the group. It is a private group, over 71.1 thousand members. It's just not me posting, my links. We have top contributors. We have people that are involved. We have tons of different stuff, not just day trading, but mostly investing for beginners as a whole. A lot of people asking questions, and very, very small amount of spam and scams. We have really good moderators that are dedicated to flushing these people out and making sure that you stay safe when you're in this community. So definitely check it out if you find interest in that. And if not, hey, that's all right too. I'm not worried about it at all. So thank you guys. Appreciate your time. And we'll see you all tomorrow morning for the live day trading session. Hopefully I have a little bit more enthusiasm, energy, and overall more excitement. Let's make some money. Let's end the year on a green note. And you guys have a great night.